Oh yeah, this next comic. A lot of people ask me, was he part of Al-Qaeda? And I was like, you know what, at first I had his back, but I was like, I don't know. His name is Shabazz Born Allah. He cut his dreads off to be non-threatening. And he does bomb everywhere he goes. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the band. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Keep it going for your host, your roast master, Mr. And I say that because if he doesn't get those laughs and cheers and stuff, he's gonna make a set where he bitches and complains. I mean, and he's justified, you know what I'm saying? He's justified. He worked hard for it. After all, it only took him 13 years to become a relevant open mic comic. Standing up here looking like, oh, I said this shit. Oh, it's a Moses. It's good. We doing here tonight. But I'm standing there looking like Dennis Rodman when he married himself. Now we move on. There's a co-founder of the NC Comics All-Stars on the stage, Mr. Anthony Bean. Okay. But Anthony Bean has a problem. This nigga changes his name more than Puffy. We done went from Anthony Bean to Coco Bean to Chico Bean. And I got a few more for you. How about Cole from Mark? Carlton from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And since you like wearing skinny, tight-ass jeans, Kanye West. Give it up for him. Now we move on down the line to, his partner sitting next to him, Mr. Jordan Fisher. Jordan, I'm here to tell you that the door has been transparent for a long time. You can come on out the closet. And I personally, I don't have anything against like gay people, but I'm sure they will be pissed off when they find out you don't represent them on stage. And now we move down the line to Mr. Brandon King. Yeah, you know, he's late with everything. He keeps up the CP time thing going on there. You know? I'm kind of like Crawford, I'm kind of wondering why he's here, because if he bombs anymore, he's going to have to get paid with 72 virgins. And speaking of going down, how about our First Lady of the NC Comics, Miss Marcia, or as we know her in the group, Gargoyle Spits or Swallows. Which is ironic because Marcia, she refuses to do dick jokes. And after being in a group of all males for 3 years, she figures she'd be professional at it. Irvin, I'm sorry, the problems with her knees is not a lack of courage. Now we move on. Oh yeah, we do have another black person on stage. Mr. Mellow Mike. Mellow Mike is probably the highest person or comic other than Mr. Grady Riddle, if you know it. And I'm sure that Mike only showed up because he thought there was going to be food involved with this show. And since he's probably high as hell anyway and won't remember this in the morning, let me put it on record and say, please give Dave Chappelle back his stage show. And let's see, I kept all the crackers for last, yes I did. We're going to start with Mr. James Hodge. Mr. James Hodge, man. He was the first and probably the only comic to actually audition for an NC Comics show. This was before he was part of the group. And you know, back then he was nervous, naive, and like Crawford pointed out, not funny. Now, sometime later, he is no longer nervous or naive. Only funny people got that. Let's move on. Where are we at? Oh.
like, I'm wondering why the fuck is Keith Ritter here? Keith Ritter, I've read on Facebook when you said you was coming out of retirement for this roast. I've personally been doing comedy around here for 7 years and I've never seen or heard of you. So, like your namesake, Mr. Ritter, that is not retirement. I'm sorry to tell you, your career is dead. Mr. Eric McGirt, however you pronounce it, nobody gives a fuck. You look like you stand in the mirror every time it's going, wherever you come from and practice saying the word nigga, so. We're going to see you after the show. Mr. Alex Stone. Alex Stone, I gotta say, he's truly like probably the funniest person on this stage. And I mean that in the gayest sense of the word. In fact, I believe Alex Stone and Jordan Fisher should go on tour and they should call it Not Only Our Jokes. Now we're going to move on to my neighbor from Jersey, Mr. Mike from Jersey. Mike, I'm sorry to break the news to you. Nobody likes you. Everybody really only keeps you around because they want to fuck Julie. And Julie, listen, we tried to leave, we did a show up in Virginia with him, right? And we tried to leave him up there. But he fell asleep drunk in the van, handcuffed, butt naked, with a picture, of course, of Jordan Fisher. And I do believe I covered every piece of shit on stage except for the two nutsacks sitting next to me, Mr. Ben Jones and Eric Robertson. When they first told me that they was doing this roast and it was for their birthdays, I was like, well, you know, Crawford and I are both Leos and our birthdays are in August too. They said, fuck y'all. So to them I say, Ben, I do hope that your mouse pad dries up. And Eric, I hope you get locked up in an all-black prison. To those who don't know, those were references to Ben and Eric's jokes. If you've never heard it, don't worry, it wasn't funny. So I do have to say though, I've had the distinct honor of, you know, sharing the role with both of these gentlemen. Whether it was going down to South Carolina with Eric Robertson calling Crawford and I niggas, blaming it on the beer that he had yet to drink. And we got the video. Or if it's when we were up in New York and Ben Jones' fat ass broke a chair and had to literally sleep on the street. Lost all that weight looking like a used Magnum. So with that, I'm going to close by saying to people who are stunt double, fuck you, and to Ben, fuck a pumpkin.
Wow. That was the first time I've ever seen Bass cuss on stage. And the shit still wasn't funny. What the fuck is gonna make you